Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Zoe. We have our co-host here today. This is Lucy. She's the cutest pit bull on planet Earth. Say hello. She's probably gonna be sleeping the whole time. My name is Zoe. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. I do everything fitness, lifestyle, just a good mixture. You'll see the dogs in here very often. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up so I can do more sit-down videos like this. I'm gonna try and do one of these once a week, trying to get a bit more organized with my YouTube game. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel, and of course, make sure your bell icon is clicked on, because you guys, even if you're subscribed, unfortunately YouTube sometimes won't notify you that I post a new video. So please make sure to do that if you haven't yet. And go check out my other social media channels, Instagram, Twitter. I don't really use Snapchat as much anymore. Mostly just my dogs are on there. So if you want to see pit bulls all the time, go check that out. And let's get into the video. So we are doing a 1-year post-op breast augmentation video today, going over a lot of different things that you guys asked about, things that I wanted to talk about. So I do have my notepad, so if you see me looking down, that's what it's for, because I figured I should organize this video a little bit so we can get to the good stuff, the stuff that you guys want to know if you're trying to get some boobies. Okay, so first, before I go into more details, I'd like to give you a little bit of background about me, kind of like why I decided, I don't really need to give reasons of why I got a boob job, but basically I was an A cup beforehand. I always wanted bigger boobs. I just felt very insecure on top. You guys know I love to go to the gym. Unfortunately, boobs are one of those things that cannot be built in the gym, unlike the butt, which I did build in the gym. It's taken me 5 years, but I built a butt, and I just felt like having boobs would just proportion out my body a lot better, make me feel more comfortable and more self-confident. So I went ahead and did that. I love my boobs. They're, can't really see them in this video, but so I want to tell you a little bit about what kind I got and finding a doctor and all that kind of stuff. So in terms of finding a doctor, what I did is I asked around. I have some friends and some people I work with that have fake boobs local in the area. I obviously wanted to do someone local because I didn't want to have to travel for boobs. I've heard horror stories about people traveling to like a different city to get a certain boob job, and I personally didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure that it was local. I could come home right after. Yeah, so I basically just asked around for people with local recommendations. I went to 3 different doctors for a consultation. Usually the consultation is free in most cases. The doctor will go over with you the different kinds of implants, different kinds of placements that they can do, and how kind of you want your boobs to look. So I wanted to go for a super, super natural look, which luckily I've achieved. A lot of people don't even realize that I have fake boobs, which is nice because I didn't want that balloon look. I don't really know how to describe it. I didn't want that, so I did do under the muscle. I did silicone instead of saline. I've heard different kind of mixed reviews now. Remember, I'm not a doctor and this is just my opinion. I think the silicone ones look and feel a little bit more natural than the saline ones. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people who do get saline and they're very happy with it. Obviously, the silicone is a little bit of a higher risk, I'm pretty sure, if they do end up leaking, but I decided to go with silicone. Of course, your doctor will go over all that kind of with you and the differences between that. Also, the big thing you have to keep in mind when you're determining like your sizing, I was between 2 different sizes. So I was between a 375cc and a 405cc. I ended up going with the 405. I'm really happy I did, just because when you're in the office and you're trying in actual, basically the, am I interrupting you? I'm so sorry. When they try on the actual implant inside your bra, it's kind of hard to tell because it's not obviously inside your body. So I did end up going with the 405cc. I definitely think that I chose a very proportionate boob size to my body. I do have a wider chest. I'm just wider in general, so that obviously will affect the implant as well and like how it'll look. That's definitely another thing that you have to go into knowing, is kind of like what body shape you have. Like I will never, unless I got huge fake boobs, I'm never gonna have cleavage just because I am wider, so they do sit a little bit out, if that makes sense. And that's what I wanted because I think it looks a lot more natural. I have a nice side boob, a nice under boob, and I feel like I don't have a ton of cleavage, which I like because I don't want to walk around with a bunch of cleavage, if that makes sense. I'm super happy with the results, and I'm really happy with what I chose and what my doctor went over with me and all that kind of stuff. Before I get further into the video, I did want to tell you guys I do have 3 recovery vlogs from the first day, the second day, and then like the first week of my actual boob job. So I'll go ahead and link those below or in the corner or somewhere. So go ahead and watch those. Those do answer a lot of questions as well, kind of like how I was feeling. But I will go briefly into like recovery and whatnot right now. So recovery time, I think the surgery in total took less than 2 hours. It's very quick in and out. I did an outpatient, so I go to the actual, so my surgeon does the actual surgery inside his office, and it's just a lot easier. So I just had my friend drop me off in the morning, and then she came back and picked me up, and then I had her help for 1 day. So in terms of pain tolerance and that kind of thing, obviously everyone is different. Everyone feels very different after. I think because I was pretty healthy and active before, I had a really easy recovery. Definitely was a lot easier than I had expected it to be. The reason I kind of put off getting boobs for so long is because I was honestly terrified of the surgery. I'm not good with blood, hospitals, all that kind of stuff. So that part kind of terrified me, but honestly the whole procedure was very easy. Like I said, it took less than 2 hours. You go in there early in the morning, and then I think I was out by like 10 or 11. Didn't have to go to the hospital or anything like that, which is great. The other reason I held off on getting it for so long, and I know this video is kind of all over the place, but these things are coming to me as I'm speaking. So the other reason I put off getting boobs for so long is because I'm 100% sure that I want children and I want to breastfeed them if that's possible. And I had thought, for some reason, I obviously didn't do a lot of research on implants, but I had thought that you couldn't breastfeed children with implants, and that is definitely not the case. In most cases, it does not cause any issues whatsoever. So that was kind of like the other reasoning. If that's something that concerns you, if you want to have children or if you have children already, it was not painful. I didn't have to take the pain pills at all. First of all, I didn't want to take them because they can make you nauseous, and I just didn't want to feel like that. So I ended up just taking Advil, which is fine. That was recommended by my doctor. But again, it really depends on your pain tolerance levels and like how active and healthy you are beforehand. So I think that was definitely in my favor in terms of recovery. So I'll go quickly into like the recovery time and exercise. So a week after, I started doing a very light cardio. Now this just means like walking on the treadmill. Then at 2 weeks after, I started doing some very light lower body exercises. And again, this is where you need to listen to your doctor and what he recommends for you. My doctor, you go in 1 day after, and then I think 3 days after, and then like a week after, and then a month after, 3 months after, whatever, all that kind of stuff. So make sure that you're listening to your doctor and what they recommend doing for you. My doctor could obviously tell that recovery was very easy for me, so he allowed me to do that. And then I didn't start training upper body again until 5 to 6 weeks after, kind of like when I felt good and when I felt, you'll feel your boobs start to like drop a little bit. It won't be as sore, obviously. There are massages that you have to do. Definitely do everything that your doctor tells you to do. You're doing it for a reason. Like massage, they have to do your boobs to like make sure that the implant does not, I forget what the word is, but like capsulate, or I forget. Anyway, it's something that happens to some people who get boob jobs, but I was very adamant about doing the massages to the boobs to make sure everything went smoothly. So now I want to talk about if I have any regrets or if there's anything, any pro or any cons to the surgery. There is one thing that I've noticed that is not my favorite, and that is a slight loss of sensitivity in terms of boobs. Now you do have to keep in mind, I've only had mine in for a year, so it could start to come back a little bit. Basically like around the nipple and parts of the actual boob do have a lot less sensitivity. So not numb, but like definitely loss of sensitivity, which isn't really a huge deal for me. Honestly, I'd rather have bigger boobs than super sensitive boobs, if that makes any sense. That's really the only one thing that I've noticed, and the one, I guess not a regret at all, but just one thing, one con to getting a boob job. It doesn't happen to everyone, but I know it does happen to some people, and that's just part of it. But that was a big thing that I noticed with mine. Anything other than that, nothing out of the ordinary, I would say. If anything, I don't know if this is true for all people who have boob implants, but my nipples tend to get harder easier, which I don't really care, but some people stare at them at the gym sometimes, and that can be a little bit annoying. But that's probably the only other thing that I really noticed with the fake boobs. So next we're going to discuss the cost. So it kind of depends. I would say an average ballpark, most surgeons will charge around $5,000. Mine was a little over $5,000, and that includes everything. So like the anesthesia, the surgery, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you're looking to get a boob job, I would say save up around $5,000 is probably a pretty good amount. Most places will charge that, most good places, of course. Make sure, please, that you do your research on doctors. You don't want to go to someone who's illegitimate. I know there are some places that are probably cheaper, but I think that's just an average ballpark. I've talked to many people who've had boob jobs. Usually it's like $5,000 to $6,000, in that range. somewhere. Okay, now I'm going to answer a few questions that I had posted on my Instagram post that I was supposed to answer a long time ago, but we're just now making the video. So I'm just gonna go through a couple of these. I've touched on them in this video already, but basically, question, how has it impacted your chest exercises? So in terms of training chest now, I honestly do not train chest anymore. I've told you guys in previous vlogs, I have very developed pec muscles. Even when I flex now, you can see them right here. I have very developed pec muscles from when I powerlifted, and even before that, I always trained chest. So now I do not train chest anymore just because it's a personal choice. I can still do push-ups and pull-ups and that kind of stuff, but I just don't need any more development up in this area. So that's personal choice, but I know a lot of people who have implants that it has not affected their chest workouts at all. How long did it take you to feel comfortable lifting heavy weights or anything involving your back? So like I said, for upper body, I waited about 5 to 6 weeks, and that was not even super heavy. I probably waited like a little bit longer than that I really don't train super heavy with heavy weights anymore. I don't do like deadlifts or anything like that anymore, but I would say a solid 6 to 8 weeks until I started lifting upper body slightly heavier again. Here's a good question. Someone asked how the scar looks a year after. I will take a picture, insert here, of what the scar looks like now. It's definitely very small. It's not super noticeable. You never notice it when I'm wearing swimsuits or anything like that. It's just right under the boob. There are different ways to go in to get the implant. I think under the boob is the most common, and you can also go through the armpit or you can go through the nipple, but I think under the boob is the most common and probably has the least amount of complications after. Obviously different doctors do different things, but that's where my scar is. Someone wanted to ask if they feel natural or fake. I think they feel pretty real. This might sound weird, but I've had like my best friends feel them, and guys, it's not weird. Best friends feel other friends' boobs all the time. And they said they feel pretty natural. They definitely don't move as much as natural boobs, so they're not as like jiggly, I guess. Like I don't need to wear a bra and they'll stay like where they are, but please don't tell me my camera's not to overheat. Like, don't film my video. Please don't overheat. So yeah, I think they feel pretty natural, but again, I think the silicone ones are supposed to feel more natural than the saline ones. Again, I'm not 100% sure on that. Can you still breastfeed? Answer that, yes, in most cases you can. Someone asked, how does it feel like noticeable all the time that something is in there, or does it feel normal? So no, it doesn't feel like anything's in there anymore at all. I would say after probably having boobs for like 3 months, it didn't feel like weird. Of course, it's gonna feel weird at first just because like you haven't had boobs before and then you have boobs, but no, it definitely doesn't feel like anything is inside of your boob or anything like that. The only time I can ever tell is if I actually like grab my boob and like feel that the implant is in there, but I can't just feel anything just like sitting around or anything like that. Someone asked, did your self-image, what you think of how you look, and confidence change after you got them? So this is like a huge thing that has helped me with boob implant. When I didn't have boobs and I was pretty much almost flat chested on top, I felt like I had to be so lean all the time because I feel like it just there wasn't anything up here sculpting my butt up here. I just had to be like have abs all the time. That's what I wanted. That's what I thought I wanted. I think that with the boobs, it's definitely given me a lot more self-confidence. And that's probably the biggest thing that I love about them, is that they've just made me feel very well proportioned. Obviously, like I said, I work very hard at the gym, so having boobs, because I can't grow them, has just honestly skyrocketed my self-confidence, and I just love them. They're my friends. Oh, also someone wanted to know my current bra size now. So before I was a 36A, and now I am a 34D. Okay, here's a good question. What would you say about age-wise getting them done? I want to, but I'm only 21, so I'm waiting another year to make sure it's something I really want. And what's the upkeep with them as you get older? Do you have to have surgery every so often to keep them looking good? So typically, they say that implants will only last 10 years. I obviously plan on having children, so hopefully around 10 years from now when I'm done having kids, which I need to get started ASAP, so not accepting baby daddy applications, not really, but I do want some children in the near future, and I don't even have a boyfriend. I would say in terms of age-wise, definitely make sure that you think about it for a long time. It is obviously a pretty big decision that affects your body in a huge way, so make sure that you think about it for at least a few months and make sure that it's something you really want. Obviously discuss with different doctors and find someone that you feel comfortable with. Definitely don't make it a impulse decision. Think about it, think about your decisions before you do them. and put boobies in your body. But I do encourage people who think that they would enjoy them and would have more self-confidence with them. I encourage you to do that. Life is all about loving yourself, and I think that everyone deserves to feel happy inside. So if it's something that would help you in that regard, I definitely would look into it further and make sure it's something that you can afford, something that long-term just makes sense for you. As I was saying, I do want kids within the next 10 years, so I do plan on at some point getting another surgery, probably to get them lifted, and probably a new implant within the next 10 years, but that's just, yeah, so they say every 10 years, but some people have told me that they've had theirs in longer. I don't know what the health complications and all that are, but yeah. That is going to conclude this video. If you guys have any further questions, leave a comment below and I will answer them. I think I went over everything that I wanted to go over. Lucy is asleep over here. I bored her to death. I love you. Thank you for joining us today. Someone is calling my phone. And yeah, I love you guys. And please, again, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you'd like it. If you want to do more sit-down videos, if you have any ideas of what you want me to do, leave a comment below. And I will grant your requests because that's what I'm here for. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that your bell icon is clicked on so you know when I post a new video. I'm trying to do 3 times a week, guys. I'm trying. Also, ignore my hands because I messed up on my fake tanner last night. Don't tell anyone that I am an idiot. Alright guys, I love you and I'll see you next time. And Lucy says goodbye even though she's asleep. Bye guys.